Hello, my name is Justin Bennett, and I'll be doing my project on Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Knuckles, a game released in 1997 based on two games released in 1994 for the Sega Genesis. I've always been a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog games ever since 2005 when I first started playing Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Nintendo GameCube. Back then I've always been a big fan of 3D games rather than 2D games, because I never really saw the big appeal of 2D games. I always saw them as more of a straightforward process. But playing this game for a little while, I started to see what the big deal was. This kind of game isn't exactly a straightforward process. There are all kinds of different ways to go about it. There are several alternate paths to go through, and the fact that there are two stories just makes it even better, really. Because this way you can do it more than once. This game is a lot different than more recent titles like Sonic Colors or Sonic Generations, because unlike those games, you don't have all these abilities that you have in those games like homing attack or boost, which pretty much make the game a lot easier than most people would think. Because in this game, there are pretty much only two things you can do. There's just jump and spin dash. And even though it's a lot more challenging without all those abilities, it makes the game a lot better to play with, because this way you're not just rushing through the game almost instantly. This time you just take your time and see where exactly the stage takes you. Ouch. And I like that they include more than one character for it, because this way there's more fun to be had. And you can and since the other two characters have different abilities, there are places in each stage that you can go through that you can't exactly go through with Sonic. You can use Knuckles' climbing ability to discover secret areas, or Tails' flying ability to go higher and higher than you can with Sonic. Even though I prefer 3D games, it's nice to actually get by on classics, because games like this came out exactly when I was born, so I'm not really any good reason to play it. But it's nice to know that I can still play it now, even though I don't exactly have the console for it, and even though Sega doesn't make consoles anymore, it's nice to know that they still keep going. They don't give up. And even though their sales have gone down quite a bit since this game, it's nice to know that they're still trying. And with their newer games like Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, it's nice to know that they're not only getting back with their classics, but they're also trying to stay true to their newest roots. I don't exactly know what exactly I'll expect for Sonic Mania or Sonic Forces, or whether or not I am going to play the game, but I'm pretty sure that they have learned from their past mistakes, games of which I'd rather not bring up. But I really like this kind of game, because even though it's classic, as it's called, obviously, it's nice to know that there's a lot to do with it. And I like the story that they chose for this game, because unlike the previous two games, there's really not that much you can tell about the story, but in this one, the story is pretty clear. Dr. Eggman tricked Knuckles, and Sonic and Tails are trying to help him see what's right, up until the end, where it's pretty much too late. But either way, this game is really fun, and the graphics are pretty cool too. It's nice that they keep going with the island theme for their very first game. Back then, it's like they were trying to come up with some kind of gimmick until they decided to switch to 3D games, which some games still stick with the island theme, but other games, they're not that. They're pretty much more modern. And the boss battles in this game are pretty hard too, not exactly compared to the current boss battles, which pretty much you can get through almost instantly. But in this game, you actually have to strategize how exactly you attack. because they seem to be a bit more unpredictable in this game. You never really know where exactly they're going to go in the stage, what exactly they're supposed to do until you actually see it. Like for this one example, go straight forward and something like this happens. And I have to be careful just to keep from falling off. It's a game like this that makes me wonder what it'd be like if I was born before these games were even made. Yeah. And what I would think about the current games these days. Would I like them? Would I not? And, well, after a while I start to realize that these games are pretty fun regardless. And it's nice to know that there's a lot I could do with it. And I hope that with their newest games, like Sonic Mania, they continue with the exact same mechanics as they do right now. Well, now that I'm done with this stage, I can pretty much say I'm done. So, thank you for watching. Bye.